Owners and drivers of Top Fuel or funny car or cackle car. '56 Chevrolet coming up here in the right lane. We're saying, hold up, guys. Shut them off. All right, staging lanes are filling up. We are just about ready to go. Plenty of seats under the cover in the shade. Right here on the grandstands. Thanks for coming out to the 16th Annual Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. Some great racing action going to be happening. Some amazing cars back there in the staging lanes right now. And we've got 3 exhibition cars on the line. We'll get them going in just a few minutes. Computer coming up. We're getting things set. We're just about ready to go here to inaugurate the 16th Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. All right, we've got a racer that has his belts expired. They just passed out. The heat just got to. Anyway, they're expired. He needs some new belts. If you've got another set of belts, 812-0274 is his phone number. Now, what kind of car?
63 Ford Fairlane.
If you see a 63 Ford Fairlane, what color is it? Blue 63 Ford Fairlane out there, and a driver that's trying to strap himself in but doesn't have the right belts, head on over there. He's going to need a set. If you've got them, he'll get them. Yeah, we need Philip Carl Martino. Philip Carl Martino. We need you up to the tower, please. Come to the announcer's booth. Philip Carl Martino. Come to the announcer's booth, please. All right, pulling them up in line right now. Mighty Mike Bellina, 1956 Chevrolet, 496 cubic inches worth of power, and he's getting ready to go in the right lane. Alongside him in the 1982 Camaro is Bill Davis. Whoa, and Bellina gets all crossed up doing his burnout. What's his run going to be like? 56 Chevy goes every which way but straight. All right, now watch the front wheels of this 56 Chevrolet. Oh! And that's on his dry hop. Wait till he puts the power to the metal, to the pedal, to the metal. He's going to do that too. Oh, Bellino getting ready to go. He's moving up into the beams. I'm not sure Bill Davis wants to take any part of this. So Davis over in the left lane with the 82 Camaro. Bellina in the 56 Chevrolet. RPMs come up. Bellina puts it on the bumper. Comes back down again. He's chasing the Camaro. But I think the Camaro's going to get there first. Left lane, 950 to a 1091. And that's the only reason is because he went the long way. Gary Smith in the 41 Willys. Little bitty 327 cubic inch Chevrolet engine. He's out of St. Louis, Oklahoma. Willys takes off nice and smooth. 361 reaction time. 1.7 the first 60 foot. Keeps it dead straight down the center of the track. And goes 1170 at 112 miles an hour. The hot rod category coming up at you right now. Beautiful 1929 Ford. pick-em-up truck, 2829. Taking on a Hudson over in the left lane. Hudsons were dominant in the early days on the NASCAR tracks. Even though they had a straight six-cylinder flathead, they were showing the way down the track. Jody Blaylock, Sr. out of Commerce, Georgia. 49 Hudson with a Mopar 500 for power. Cheryl Kaiser in the Model A. It's a 29 with a 327 Chevrolet. 500 cubic inches worth of motivational power, and the Hudson gets there first. Goes 1084, 113 to a 1352 at 102 miles an hour. Bobby Turner out of Carabel, Florida. 31 Ford Model A sedan, 383 Chevy. Keith Kelly out of Wood Driver, Illinois. 57 Chevy with a mountain motor, 632. Hot Rod takes on the door slammer. Wheels come up just a little bit. 57 Chevy using up some real estate. Better reaction time for the Model A, but the Chevy, he's got the horsepower. Takes the wind light. Goes 1056 to an 1125, 97 to 94 miles an hour. Yenko style Nova over in the left lane, and a grumpy old gremlin here in the right lane. Those gremlins, people laughed at them kind of because they were kind of a shortened Hornet. They just lopped off the back of them. These things in SCCA road racing were dominant in the early years of the Radial Series Road Racing Challenge. They had a six-cylinder motor that just was torquey as could be. A few guys were racing these. And out in the West Coast, where I come from, we had a guy named Richie Pauley, better known now for his record-holding Fords. But when he was in high school, he started racing a little gremlin with a 401 AMC motor in it. And it was his everyday driver to high school. It would run 1250s and still get him to and from school every day. Gremlin was a lightweight economy car from AMC. The Nova on the left lane. Well, Chevrolet came out with the Nova back in 1962. It's kind of their answer to the Falcon because the Corvair just didn't make it. Although they sold well, the buyer of the Corvair was not the same person that looked at buying a Falcon. Chevy wanted to get in touch with the Falcon Falcon crowd. They came up with the Chevy 2, the Nova, originally powered by a four-cylinder with 90 whole horsepower. All right, attention racers in the staging lanes. You do not have SFI-approved shorts. There are none. If you are racing today, you need to have long pants on. No shorts for drivers. You must have long pants on, drivers. No shorts permitted. All right, Don Oglesby out of Franklin, Indiana, 72 Gremlin with a 461 cubic inch AMC motor. Randy Stamps out of Scottsville, Kentucky, the 68 Nova, little 350. They're getting ready to go. Once we get the all clear, we'll get back to racing action. All right, get attention racers. Attention racers. I know it's toasty out there today, but you cannot be driving pants on. And you have to have the proper safety equipment for the ET your vehicle is. We'd like to thank our friends at Holley Performance Products for their continued support of the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion right here in Holley's hometown of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Take time to stop by the Holley display and make some new friends while planning something new for your ride. We'd like to thank AAA Insurance, our friends there, for their support of the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. Now, you already know AAA offers great services. You know they also offer great rates on auto insurance. As a policyholder, you're a member, and members get in the Boulevard. We know you want the best performance finish for your car. The amazing finish starts with selecting the right materials from Axalta. Stop and see the Axalta experts at their display alongside the entry road and see their products in action on some of the past winners of the Axalta Show and Shine. Now, Axalta Coating Systems is the proud sponsor of the 2018 Axalta Show and Shine. Now, do you have a vintage race car, street to make your special project? For their support of the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion and the Dynamat Legends autograph sessions at 2 p.m. Friday and Saturday next to the reunion tent inside the oval track. Meet the 2018 reunion heroes: Jay Howell, Bo Laws, Ed Miller, Joe Williamson, Greg Cutlass, along with Grand Marshal Larry Lombardo. Stop by frequently, as many of our past honorees and others can be found in the Dynamat Legends tent. Stamps in the Scottsville-based Kentucky. We're getting ready to go. The Nova and the Gremlin. They do their burnouts. They move up to the staging beams. Gremlin short wheelbase. Lots of slick stuffed under the body of that car. Goes red. It's a 1.5. 11-17 to an 11-19. That would have been a good heads up. Is for straight axle, gas coupes, straight axle, gas coupes. It's outsold Chevrolet in 1957, but on the used car lot, everyone wanted 57 Chevrolets. And if you look at the values today of a 57 Chevrolet versus a 57 Ford, you're going to find the Chevy is nearly double what the Ford sells for. Nathan Spinks out of Bowling Green, 355 cubic inches with a Chevy Power, takes on Ron Bax, 23T. Ron with a better reaction time, and his little all is closing the stripe, 11:44 to an 11:52. He's got a 4.6 Ford big block stuffed between the front wheels. Ford Falcon came out in late 19. Gets the win light, 10.07, 133 miles an hour to an 11.85. At 112. Straight axle. Straight axle. We need you to the lane. Straight axle lanes 3 and 4. As Kurt Hoft, Wright City, heads down track with the Comet. Goes 10.23, 132 miles an hour to Attucks, Virginia, 38 special. Mike Good. Oh, baby! I don't think that's an issue. This time at a 1982 Capri. 10.58 to an 11.73, 119 to 115 miles an hour. The Little Vega over in the left lane was Chevrolet's answer to the Pinto. I think they went 55. Only 200 were made by 1960. 7 thousandths of a second. Heads down track out in front. The Vega scooting to the finish line. He goes 10.08, 131 miles an hour to an 11.89 at 14. Hot Rod here in the right lane. Murray, Kentucky, 1984 Chevy seats. Nice two-tone paint job machine. 406 small block over in the left lane. 4-6. Top here in the right lane. Going to take on the Nova. Mike Friend out of Neosho, Missouri. It's got a 390 FE motor, and someone squashed the top. Yeah, they chopped it. Unusual thing to do to a 57 Ford. Kind of cool, though. Line. Next, up to the finish line stripe. 10:32. Steffens. And please make sure your class is written clear. Straight axle lanes 3 and 4. And again, if you're having trouble hearing PA announcements, tune your radio to 87.9. Wild Willie's over in the left lane. Malibu here in the right lane. Malibus were first introduced in 1964. It was the midsize line from Chevrolet. All the other divisions upscaled their compacts. Willie starts to head towards the wall. He straightens it back out, and he's headed down track. Better reaction time for the Chevelle. Willie's closing in, getting closer. He's got him. 12:56 at 108 miles an hour to a 13:73 at 98. Mustang Mach 1. They continued the dominance of the Mustang in the pony car field, but this Mustang got big. And these are some of the bigger Mustangs they made back at the time. Claude Dunphy out of Pleasant Plains, Illinois. A veterinarian. He's retired, enjoying his racing. That's why he's driving a Mustang. It's a pony car. He's a veterinarian. Makes sense. 72 Mach 1 with a 514 cubic inch big block. Caleb Locker out of Owensboro, Kentucky. 1970s Chevy C10. Got a little bitty 350 in it. Let's see what he does up against the Mustang. Starting in 1973, the Mustang became a compact car, kind of based loosely on the Pinto chassis. Full stage, both vehicles, lights begin to drop. And a red light, 020 for 115 light. Mustang just scooting down track, way out in front. And the Vet goes through the lights in the Ford with a 1051, 119 miles an hour to a 1337 at 97. In 1964, Ford had to come up with something to challenge the Mopars on the Superstock trail. They came out with the Thunderbolt, the 1964 Fairlane. This is an homage to that. Little MG replica here in the right lane with a 383 Chevy, Dan Matthews. Double reds, they both leave early. As a matter of fact, the left lane, the Fairlane left so early, the tree didn't get activated yet. He will get a time. The MG goes 1094 to 118 miles an hour. The Fairlane is 54 at 57. He now has slow ET of the day. First generation Camaro over in the left lane. Gene Wentz out of Florence, Kentucky. 68 Camaro, 468 big block. Jerry Parks out of Carbon, Illinois. 69 Nova, 468 big block. Three-stage lights lit. Full stage. Something about drag racing. You know, we always light the Christmas tree before every race. Makes drag racing a very festive sport. Better reaction time for the left lane. Camaro gets there first. 1019 to a 1067. 132 miles an hour to 128. Straight axle cars. Straight axle lanes 3 and 4. Make sure your class is on the car. Straight axle car lanes 3 and 4. This is your call to the lane. Straight axle 3 and 4. please have your class written on the window. 2 Chevelles, Joe McGee out of East Alton, Illinois, 69 Chevelle with a 388 small block. Garrett McGee out of East Alton, Illinois as well with a 383. They hit the loud pedals and off they go. Better reaction time here in the right lane by a mere 0.12 of a second. Coming up on the finish line, lights though. Right lane's got the lead and hangs on. 1175 to an 1184. 114 miles an hour for both cars. Last of the first generation Novas over in the left lane, taking on the Pontiac midsize car. Don Forrester out of Vinton, Iowa. 1971 T37 Pontiac. Got the big 455 Super Duty motor in it. Taking on the Nova over in the left lane. We are still entering tech cards, so if I don't mention you by name, please understand we're still putting stuff in. Hundreds of cards have come out here today. Poncho torques up. And they both run. 0-12 reaction time for the Nova driver. Way out. He's got the whole shot. Can he hold on? Pontiac starting to close the gap. Not enough track. 1139 to an 1170. 112 miles an hour for each of the cars. First gen Camaro, 1967 here in the right lane. 1965 Comet over in the left lane. The Camaro was Chevrolet's answer to the Mustang, and boy, when they answered that question, they answered it completely. Camaro came out in 1966 as a 67 model. Is one of the most customizable cars from the factory you could get. From 6 cylinders to big blocks, heating headlights, luxury packages, sport packages, the 302 Z28, you name it, you could get it from Chevrolet if you knew the right order codes. Terry Lindsay out of Bowling Green, Kentucky in the 67 Camaros here in the right lane. Johnny Matthews out of Pleasantville, Tennessee. 65 Comet, 351 Ford small block, 427 Chevy big block in the Camaro. Pre-stage light lit for the Comet. Both have the pre-stage lights lit. They inch forward into the beams. Left lane first, right lane next. They hit the loud pedal. 040 red light, a near perfect 004 green here in the right lane. Misses a perfect light by 0.004 of a second. Goes 944, 132 miles an hour to an 1148 at 109 miles an hour. All right, Mighty Mopar here in the right lane. Kenny Warren in the vet. The Murfreesboro, Tennessee 1980 Corvette with a 350 going to take on that Mopar. You guys know what Mopar stands for, don't you? Many old parts are rusting. Get down the track, Mopar 4,025 reaction time. Crosses the finish line out in front of the Corvette. Goes 11:15 to an 11:20. All right, attention. Nostalgia Top Fuel, Nostalgia Funny Car, and Cackle Fest. Owners and drivers. You have a drivers meeting at 10:30. You're not there. You're late. It's over by the fuel booth. The Fuel Depot. Nostalgia Funny Car, Nostalgia Top Fuel Dragsters, Cackle Fest cars. Driver and owner, we need you to the Fuel Depot for a drivers meeting. Nitro cars to the meeting at the Fuel Depot right now, please. Nitro drivers and owners to the fuel meeting. Camaro coming up. Camaro just kind of rolls through the beam. Just kind of motoring down. He hits the pedal now. Let's see if he can hold or catch the slow ET of the day. Heads down track. And he does. 1572 at 113 miles an hour with a slow ET of the day. 69 Camaro here on the right lane getting ready to go. 69 was the last of the first generation Camaros. Johnny Britt, the driver of the Bowling Green-based 69 Camaro with a 350. Now, the 69 Camaro was also produced the longest. The 1970s were not ready for production, so they extended the production dates of the 69 Camaro out an additional 2 months. Alongside him, a nice Oldsmobile, the 1985 Cutlass, 540 cubic inches worth of Chevrolet power. Oldsmobile was the oldest of the General Motors brands. It was one of the first ones. It was the first to get an electric starter. Oldsmobile was the pioneer of General Motors. And then General Motors, in their infinite wisdom, canceled the whole Oldsmobile line of vehicles. All right, apparently left lane was not totally track trained when Tinkle there. They're getting it cleaned up. We'll be back to racing action in just a moment. Straight axle cars, we need you to lane 3 and 4. Nostalgia Fuel, Nostalgia Funny, and Cackle cars. Owner and driver, we need you to the meeting over at the Fuel Depot. Three. Oldsmobile 60-foot mark. 60-foot mark. Camaro not going to keep up. Number 2, 1241 and 103. What a difference 10 years makes. Look at that. 1955 Chevrolet up against the 1965. Now, in 1955, the Bel Air was the top of the line. In 1965, it was just a grocery getter. Dale Poor, mid-range car. Ernest Boards, moving. Let's go on track out in the lead. Goes 10-8, 23 miles an hour to a 12. To make a car, they took the generator set motor that originally was sheet metal that they used during World War II. They cast the block. It was an overhead cam 4-cylinder. Something tells me, though, this is not quite stock. Ron Meredith out of Litchfield, Kentucky, in the dart. Going to try and stick it to him. But look at this. This Crosley is so narrow, all the tires fit on the outside of the body. Now, I've seen a couple of restored Crosleys. Now, they had so much power, if you missed a shift between first and second gear, pedestrians in the crosswalk would pass you by. Red light for the dart, a big red light. 135 in the red. The Crosley headed down track, not even going to catch the dart, but at least he left on a green light. 11:57, 115 miles an hour with a Crosley, a 14:46 at 93. 2 1969 Camaros coming up next. Mike West out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, in the yellow 69. That is one machine over in the left lane. Don't have the information yet on the gets the win light. 1092 to an 1161. 1966-67 Nova over in the left lane. Going to take on the later model Nova here in the right lane. 1969 Nova versus a 66-67. Massive change in the Novas between those years. Left lane still considered a first generation Nova, even though the body was completely different from the first Novas that came out. The 70, a total damn car, did not carry over anything. Original Nova. Reaction time advantage went to the left lane. Goes 3 348, 409, 348, 409. So we need you to the 348, 409, 5 and 6. Top Renault Dauphine here in the right lane. I had one of those when I went to college. Rear engine, 4-cylinder, 803 cc's. It's a little hard turn to the right. He straightens it back out again. Catches the Comet. 743 to 1. We run these on the 8th mile. If it's a 4-door, I can't see from here. Take it on the Andrew Blair. He goes 939, 69 miles an hour to a 915, 873. And this is the straight axle class. Tom McCreary at Louisville, Kentucky. 61 Falcon 2-door station wagon. Right lane and goes 663 to a 789, 87 miles an hour. Another Falcon here in the right lane, going to take on what's called a Unibody pickup truck. If you look at the pickup truck over the lane, the cab bed are not separate. This is a very rare. Pickup. Unibody is very desirable among trucks because there were so few of them made. There was a long wheelbase and a short, and that is a short wheelbase there. Falcon trying to get by and doesn't do it. The Austin goes 750 to a 748. 89 to 86 miles an hour. High ride in Hudson. Look at the lace paint job on this. Definitely 60. Takes on another Falcon. Falcon seems to be popular, lightweight, but they had no frame, so they take a lot of work to make them an axle car. They were a unibody construction. Happy Hudson here on the right. 1956 Ford. Pontiac with the whole shot, almost by huge. And the Pontiac had that machine, just saw him bring the RPMs up and dump the clutch to do a dry hop. 1964 Impala, Dave Coots out of Benton, Iowa. 409 takes on Dave Mills out of Osseo, Michigan, with another 409. So the lightweight Nova with the big motor. Red 007 the first lane by 7,000 seconds. The Nova just moving strong over in the left lane. 989, the quickest of the 409. Almost perfect 001 reaction time. Phantom Roadster through the lights goes 914 at 144, and he is the quickest 409. 1042 at 123. Two bubble backs. These were designed to go the super speedways of the NASCAR tracks. The semi-fastback design helped them slip through the wind. Jasperson out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, 62 Bel Air 409. We're still entering tech cards. We've got so many cars coming out to this event today. We are still entering tech cards. We'll get all that information for you throughout the day. But right now, man, we got them coming in the gate. And lots of race cars going to be here today for you this week, or this whole weekend, not just today. crossed up. So 409 made a nice transplant. Light goes green, and the 617 reaction, 22. Close on the reaction times. Their first 1180. Assemble the old stock and super stock cars of days gone. D2 to a 12 flat. First generation Camaro takes on a second generation Nova. Brad Spires out of Avon, Indiana, 1970 Nova. 400 cubic inches takes on the first generation Camaro. Camaro was an instant hit. Wheels come up in the first pony car to hit the streets was not the unstoppable. I mean, literally. All right, pre-stage lights lit. Full stage for the Falcon. Full stage for the Nova. Good job. Fairlane. Still. When Tempest first came out, it was their compact car. Later, it became the midsize Ford. They took a 389. Then they put the transmission in the rear. They getting ready to go up against the little Pontiac Tempest. Now, if you went for the optional engine on the Tempest, there were two. You get the standard 4-cylinder with a 2-barrel, or you could get the high performance. Mickey Thompson made that little 4-cylinder famous by setting a number of Streamliner at Bonneville. The 320 lane came out with a 221 cubic inch small block V8. He's chasing, coming up at the halfway point. Model, and the Henry J, a compact car, 1.4. And through the finish lights, 57, 119. The Survivor Dodge, 1965. Going to take on the Buick Special. Buick was also, the Special was also the compact car for Buick, and then became the midsize in 1964 when GM upsized all the midsize and gave Chevrolet the Chevelle. Chevy had more body styles than anybody else, so they didn't get, they had a bunch of compacts. They had the Corvette and the Nova. Uh-oh, driver in the left lane pointing up in the sky, something not quite right. Jimmy Gower out of Litchfield, Kentucky, 65 Skylark with a Buick 455. Donnie Wilson out of Cave City, Kentucky, 65 Coronet. Donnie Wilson, the Survivor car with a 426 motor. These cars are running on an index, so they got to see who qualifies. 1050. Gower looking for a 1075. Coming up on the finish line lights, it's Wilson way out in front. He goes 11:17, doesn't run close to his number, and Jimmy Gower doesn't even run anywhere near it at a 12:58. AMX here in the right lane, taking on the Dodge Coronet wagon, Brent Wheeler out of Watkinsville, Georgia. He's got a 440. He's looking for a 10 flat. Randy Bennett out of Stockbridge, Georgia, at the AMX. He's looking for an 1125. All right, full stage, lights begin to drop. The little two-seater AMX pulls away with a 218 reaction time. 122 for the big Dodge. Dodge heads down track out in front, crosses the finish line goes 11.26, was looking for a 10 flat. Randy was looking for an 11.25, goes 12.54. Another Buick Special here in the right lane and the Ford Fairlane over in the left lane. Netherland out of Columbia, Tennessee in his 1967 Buick Grand Sport, 400 cubic inches worth of Buick power, looking for a 10 flat. The Ford, well, don't have any information on him yet, so we don't know what that car is supposed to be running. It's a Nostalgia Superstock is what we're running right now. Full stage for the Buick. Ford gets in there. Drop with gun. Better reaction time. Headed down track. Buick way out in front. He's looking for a 10 flat. Gets 10.66. The Ford goes 12.05. 63 Dodge and a 63 Plymouth. Got my first ride down Woodward Boulevard in Detroit in a 1963 Plymouth when I was just a youngster. Nick Ailes out of New Albany, Indiana. 68 Dart is what it says, but it's not. He's driving a Plymouth. Bernie Lawrence out of Bowling Green, 1963 Polara, 426. So apparently Mick's got a number of Mopars. This time he's driving the Plymouth. Better reaction time for the Dodge driver, but the horsepower definitely in the hands of the Plymouth driver. 1094 on a 10 flat index to a 1380 on an 1125. Neither running the number. Look at this Comet. Whoa. Engine set way back and it's fuel injected, looking more like an AFX car. Take it on the 63 Plymouth over in the left lane. This is continuing with Nostalgia Superstock. Gone. Or the Comet is gone. The Plymouth's still sitting there. Comet through the lights, 960, 839 miles an hour. It looks like we're resetting the tree. See if we can get the Plymouth to stage. He hadn't fully staged and the lights came down. Now he stages. It's 2:03 reaction time. Pops front wheels up in the air just a little bit. Heads on down track all by his lonesome. Keeps it in the groove through the finish line lights. Goes 1032, 129 miles an hour. 1964 Ford Fairlane. Thunderbolt style, but the Thunderbolts were hardtops. Ford sent the Fairlanes out to Detroit Steel, who would modify the cars and get them race ready. Bob Durling out of Mooresville, Indiana with the 63 Sport Fury. It's got a 426. It's a wedge motor car. Taking on the Ford. No information on him yet, so I can't tell you what he's got. Talked to Gas Ronda a year ago about the old Superstock Thunderbolt. He said if you could get them to leave the line straight, you were all right. If you didn't leave the line, forget it. They were all over the place. They had so much horsepower that day. 1055 in the left lane, 1085 here in the right lane. Altered wheelbase, it looks like on that Nova. And the Dart's going to try and stick it to him. Butch Cassidy from Park City, Kentucky. 69 Dodge Dart with a 383 wedge motor. The big roof. Nova. Anybody remember the fastback funny car Novas of the day? Time for the Dart, but the Chevy's got the horsepower. Chevy walks away. Goes 1029 to a 1252. 65 Malibu. will take on the 67. Malibu first introduced in 1964. Biggest engine you could get then was the 327. Late 1965, the 396 became an option on the SS model. About 200 were built. 1966 became the first full year of the SS 396, and if you ordered an SS Chevelle, you got a 396. There was no other engine. There were 3 levels of 396, but you couldn't get anything smaller. Wheels go up in the air on the red light start for Danny Whitford. Comp Eliminator to the lanes, please. Comp Eliminator. Lanes 3 and 4. Comp Eliminator, lanes 3 and 4. A 993 in the right lane to a 1001. 134 to 133 miles an hour. Barracuda, 1968. Dale Mears out of Buffalo, Kentucky. It's got a 440 in it. He's going to take on the Chevy, 1966. The full-size Chevrolet. Again, we need Comp Eliminator. Comp Eliminator, lanes 3 and 4, please. Comp Eliminator, lanes 3 and 4. Barracuda goes 120 reaction to a 205. The Chevy just a bit quicker and gets the win light. Goes 995 to a 1045. '64 Dodge Wagon, Brent Wheeler. Well, it's a 440 cubic inch motor taking on Rosie Kusif out of Catawassa, Missouri. And she's got a '64 Dodge with a 426. Reaction times within 200s of each other, or 2,000s of each other. 055 to an 057. Rosie gets there first, 992, 126 miles an hour to an 1171, 117. This time a Plymouth wagon comes up with the candy stripes, reminiscent of the old Candymatics of the day. Takes on the Chevy. Mike Moss out of Paducah, Kentucky, 66 Biscayne with a 427. Takes on the Plymouth wagon. Charges off the line, 022 reaction time. Wheels go up in the air, and the heavy wagon, the long roof racer, goes 954 to a 1059. Biscayne and the the Corvette next. Dave Schultz must have a bunch of Mopars. This is a Dodge. And Barry Camp out of Monroe, Georgia, 66 Biscayne, 572 big block. Whole shot here in the right lane. Dodge pulls out in front, but the Chevy collects him and takes the win. 907 on an 875 index to a 979 on a 1025. Fairlane next. All right, Fairlane going to be the last of the Nostalgia Super Stocks. So we're going to do some track prep and bring out the gassers. Comp Eliminator, we need you to the lanes. Comp Eliminator to lanes 3 and 4. Comp Eliminator, lanes 3 and 4. All right, Ford leaves the line with a 172 reaction time. Cruises through the finish line lights. Goes 11:36 at 112 miles an hour. We're going to do a little track prep, get things ready, because the high horsepower gassers are coming your way next here at the 16th Annual Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. Got some interesting cars coming to you next in the gas classes. I see an interesting 58 Ford down there. There's Mopars, there's Chevrolets, Plymouths, Dodges. You name it, it's coming out, including a chop top Henry J that just rolled up alongside a Studebaker. A variety of cars in the gas classes coming your way. We're going to have some great racing action for you all day long. And it'll continue again tomorrow with a lot going on, including the honoree presentations at the Corvette Museum tomorrow evening, along with the cruise. And anyone coming out for that, it's free. All right, Gas Eliminator, Gas Eliminator. This is your final call. Gas Eliminator, final call. And attention in the pits, first call for Comp Eliminator. Comp Eliminator, you need to be coming down. Comp Eliminator. All right, going to have Warren talk to you about these guys. This is the gas class, and Warren's going to talk to you about that.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you, Bob. We got to get Bob to day 3, so we give him a little break on day 1, whenever we can, you know. So the gas category, big category of cars coming at you right now. They do run on an index. You see it down there on the scoreboards. Broken down into half-second increments, so C-Gas Eliminator cars are going to run a full second faster than the E-Gas Eliminator cars. And like I said, every step is a half-second difference, but that is the index they're running on. Left side, the Chevelle over there, that's Mike Van Hoos out of Ashland, Kentucky. Good-looking Chevelle. 68 Chevelle. 515 cubic inches of bow tie horsepower alongside the Mopar down there in the weeds. Ted Wood, C-Gasser out of Moorville, Mississippi. And as you would expect, the Mopar is out in front. And going to get there first, 919. 919 at 142 for Ted Wood. Mike Van Hoos, 9,900. If we were running super gas, that'd be a perfect run. But he was trying to run a 10 flat. 133 there for the speed for the Chevelle. 2 more, 1 backing up from the Burnout right now. That swoopy little Chevy 2, the Super Sport of, I'm sorry, that is a Nova Rob Davis. B-Gas, 850 the number on the board. The Indiana runner right side alongside the mighty Mopar in the left lane, running on the D-Gas index of 950. No information in the computer just yet, so no number on the scoreboard at the finish line. But scooting right along. And the little Nova out front is going to get there first, trying to go 850, goes 860. 860 at 157 for Davis. Left side, the Mopar 950. He was looking for a 950, so getting her dialed in, 958 at 138. Your next pair, Keith Fulp. Alpharetta, Georgia, the C-Gas machine. That is a 1958 Ford Custom 300. Alongside Jeff Thomas from Columbia, Kentucky, 68 Barracuda. Finish line says 978 for the degasser at 120 for Thomas. Keith Fulp, 904 on his 9 flat index at 151. Coming out of the water box left side, the King's Ransom, high and handsome, 56 Chevrolet. Bob King Sr. out of Hoffman Estates, Illinois. 496 cubic inches of big block power. Sorry about that. The Impala over here right side. So we'll come up the starting line for the 56. He leaves the starting line before the tree is activated, pulls over to the side, shuts off. We're going to check that out. In the meantime, the Impala 1159 at 100 miles per hour. Competition Eliminator. If you're not in the lanes, we need you. Competition Eliminator. We need you to the staging lanes, please. Comp to the lanes. So just checking in on a little radio traffic. Something in the drive line is not working very well. Perhaps a broken rear end based on what I'm hearing. We may have to get some dollies out there to get the King's Ransom Chevrolet moved back into a safe area. So we'll be down for just a minute, and as soon as we're ready to go, we'll let you know. Once again, Competition Eliminator. We need you to the staging lanes, please. Comp Eliminator to the lanes.
All right, lots more racing action to happen. Unfortunately, something goes awry on this 56 Chevrolet. We'll get it taken care of and be back to racing action in just a little bit. Thanks for coming out to Beach Bend Raceway. I'm Hot Rod Bob Beck along with Warren here in the tower. We'll be keeping you informed about what's hot, what's not, and what's going on throughout the day. And the NHRA Motorsports Museum would like to thank the city of Bowling Green and Warren County for their hospitality this weekend. We appreciate the help of the many good folks in the city, the Warren County Sheriff's Office, the Bowling Green Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, and many others who helped make the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion a success. Thank you from all of us here at the NHRA Motorsports Museum. You know, welcome Exalted Show and Shine participants. Judging for all show and shine classes takes place behind the Exalta display in the judging tent. It's going to happen from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Register your car for judging and the opportunity to win a trophy and to be invited to the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis to compete for the Bob Daniels Memorial Trophy. Exalta Show and Shine participants, remember, tonight is your chance to make street legal drag runs after racing qualifying ends at 6 p.m. Now, whether you're a hardcore racing enthusiast or just want to test your skills and your car against a friend, the street legal drags offer a fun and easy alternative for just $10. Simply pull up to the staging lanes, purchase a tech card, and you can race your custom, your hot rod, or classic on the track at historic Beach Bend Raceway. Now, when you're ready for a break from the racing action, stop by the swap meet area and find that seasoned part you need, a unique souvenir, or that magazine to complete your collection. Head into the oval track for displays of past show and shine winners, memory lane vintage race cars, meet our jet car teams, and shop the midway for a variety of products from Bowling Green and beyond. And don't forget to shop for your official 2018 Holley National Hot Rod Reunion shirts, hats, and more at the big reunion tent inside the oval track. This is your chance to get this year's reunion shirt, and they're going quick. Official Cackle Fest tees, event programs, reunion poster, and much, much more. Remember, your purchase helps preserve the American hot rod history by supporting the NHRA Motorsports Museum. All right, now this Chevrolet, as old as it is, had a very special option. Now I want you to look closely at it. It's got the heated front fender option. Yes, the front fenders are heated, so when they're pushing it, their hands don't get cold. And make sure you've purchase the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion official event program while you're here. The program features 50 pages of stories about the reunion heroes, the Exalta Show and Shine, and much, much more. Stop by the Dynamat Legends tent on Friday and Saturday for autographs and a chance to meet and greet the 2018 past honorees. Bring your advance purchase tickets by the reunion tent to pick up your free program and goodie bag today if you had the 3-day pass. All right, so they put the 56 up on casters and they push it back. This is the kind of scene Ford owners like to watch. Now, don't miss tomorrow night's free Hot Rod Reunion honoree reception at the National Corvette Museum following tomorrow's racing. Now, we head to the National Corvette Museum to celebrate our 2018 reunion heroes and Grand Marshal Larry Lombardo. Join us as Larry, Jay Howell, Bo Laws, Ed Miller, Joe Williamson, and Greg Exacelis are honored for their lifetime achievement. The National Corvette Museum is offering discounted admission and more through Father's Day. Arrive early tomorrow night and grab a snack in the cafe and tour the museum until 7 o'clock when MC Bob Fries kicks off the presentations. Don't miss this wonderful and entertaining evening at the National Corvette Museum tomorrow. And also happening on Saturday is going to be the Cackle Fest. So don't leave when the racing stops, because the Cackle Fest begins. When the sun goes down, the action continues with Cackle Fest, a mass ignition of flames, spewing, nitro-burning dragsters and funny cars not to be missed. After the racing stops, we will light up Beach Bend with 2 jet dragsters, followed by a parade of our show and shine winners, and then the one and the only Cackle Fest, brought to you here this weekend. We want to welcome everybody here. Thank you for attending the 16th Annual Holley National Hot Rod Reunion, presented by AAA Insurance. We appreciate you coming to the reunion and helping the NHRA Motorsports Museum preserve American hot rod in history. And this also wouldn't be possible without the great support of the Holley Performance Products people. They're right here in Bowling Green. Take some time to stop by the Holley display, meet some new friends, take a look at some of the things for you that ride, that new car you're planning. Anyway, as always, we want to thank the people at AAA for their support of the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion and the California Hot Rod Reunion as well. You already know that AAA offers great services, but did you know they also offer great rates on auto insurance? With membership and insurance through AAA, you're not just a policy holder, you're a member. And members do get more. Visit AAA.com and see how much you could save on insurance through AAA. AAA, so easy, so smart, so switch. All right, lots more action going to be happening. The track is clear. Safety crew returning back to positions. And Warren's going to keep you informed about what's hot and what's not and what's going on with these gassers.
All right, back to action coming out of the water box right now. How about that gorgeous 55 Chevy, left side. Mike Cutler out of Dawson, Illinois. 55 Chevrolet. Alongside the 69 Camaro. Low slung machine C-Gas index. So 950 is the number they're trying to hit. On the left side, Cutler's on the safe side, 956 at 138. Right side, the Camaro, 944. A little bit quick at 142. Coming up next, left side of the track, that's the Budweiser lane. And that is the little Chevette. Chevette over there, left side, our starter. Brad Buechel. Going to reset the scoreboard down there, get everything sorted out. Right side, Daniel Mullen, C-Gasser, out of Reddick, Illinois, 69 Camaro. This is a big category. Going to see lots of people running against the Camaro scooting right along, going to get to the finish line first. Dan Mullen with a 919. That's quick at 140. Chevette 1062 at 126. Not exactly factory stock. Brian Bruckman, left side out of St. Anne, Illinois, 79 Malibu. He's classified in the E-Gas category, so he's trying to hit a 10 flat index. Mike Ryan alongside the C-Gasser, 9 flat the number for the runner out of Cottage Hills, Illinois. 66 Chevelle. Competition Eliminator. If you're not in the lanes, we need you. Comp Eliminator to the lanes. Comp Eliminator to the lanes. Right side, Ryan out front, going to get there first. 9:17 at 142. 10:16, the number for Brian Bruckman at 121. Oh, you hear the lope of the supercharger over here? Right side of the track. This is Butch Hill. So, computer says 1953 Champion. I assume that was a Chrysler product. Is that right, Bob? The Champion. Backing up from the Burnout. Studebaker. Okay, Studebaker Champion. The Hawk fins there on the Studebaker. B-gas machine, supercharged, 850 the number. The Huff and Hemi 392. Alongside Tim Irwin out of Portland, Indiana. Our old buddy from Moser Engineering. He's the Director of Research and Development up there. 1970 Nova. Big block Chevy power, degasser. The Studebaker muscling his way down the track. 864 at 158. Butch Hill, good looking lap there. For the purple car right side, Tim Irwin. 913 for his little Nova. Two more coming at you right now, I believe. A pair of Henry J's. No information on the computer left side. Right side, it's Roy Montgomery. 53 Henry J out of Manatee, Mississippi. That's a guess. That's what all the letters look like. Big block Chevy power. On the right side for the B-gasser. And he is leading the way right side. Going to get there with an 893. 893 at 148. Left side, 967 at 138. Sam Patrick pulls up next. Making the tow down from Sandpoint, Michigan. 37 Chevy. 406 Chevy power plant under the hood for the E-gasser. Right side, the Camaro. I believe that is a C-gas Class 5 machine. And as they get down there, they are just about a second different. 896 at 150 for the Camaro right side. For Sam Patrick, 993 at 131. Both of them under their index by just a little bit. Two more coming at you right now. The 48 Anglia, left side. The Budweiser lane, that's Tim Purse out of Cleves, Ohio. The D-gasser lines up alongside the A-gas machine. 41 Willies for Butch Steffens out of Washington, Missouri. Butch will be looking down the jegs.com lane, right side. Again, competition eliminator. If you're not in the lanes, we need you. Competition eliminator. If you are not in the lanes, we need you now. And out, Willie's hustling down track. Quickest car of the category so far. 8:14 at 166 for Butch Steffens. Tim Purse with a 972 at 134. Stuart Forney pulls up now. Little Mustang left side alongside the Vega right side. No info yet. We'll get it before eliminations. For Stuart Forney, that's a Seagas 67 Mustang. And at the finish line, it's a 911 left side for Stuart Forney. 145 for the speed, 952 right side for the Vegas, speed of 139. It's a little puff of smoke down there. I think we're going to eyeball the machines as they come off the track before we send the next pair. Everybody says it's okay to go. So here we go. Budweiser side, it's Gary Harris from Greenbrier, Tennessee, 65 Ford Falcon. Right side, that's the Dodge Dart. Dodge Dart moves right in stages. Here comes the Falcon. Pro Tree lead, hustling down track. How about a 950 on a 950? Dead on with a 2. That was the number that Gary Harris was looking for. 142 for the speed. Runs the index dead on. 950 with a 2. 1003 right side at 133 on a 10 flat index. So he was right there. But left side goes dead on. John Treesh, Flomaton, Alabama, 61 Corvette. Seagasser alongside Gary Wildy, the degassed 66 Nova. Wildy goes red at the start. These are just time runs, qualifying runs. 908 left side for John Treesh at 149. Gary Wildy, 4 off his index, 954, speed of 140. 2 more coming out of the water box, a pair of bow ties, left and right. The 74 Camaro, left side from North Aurora, Illinois. That's Chuck Owen. 572 cubic inches under the hood of that white and black rally striped 74 Camaro. Jerry Wilson pulls up alongside the 63 split window Corvette from Indianapolis, the B-Gasser. So Wilson's number an 850. Owen's number a 9 flat. Again, they are different class categories. So for the Corvette, 852 at 158. Right side, Chuck Owen left before the tree was activated, and we'll get no time at the finish. Ford Fairlane left side alongside another Vega. Again, no information in the computer, so we'll make it up as we go. Competition Eliminator. If you're not in the lanes, we need you. Competition Eliminator to the lanes. Vega makes a move to the left, gathers it up, straightens it out, heads for the finish line, and gets there first just barely. 10:09 for the Vega at 131 to the 10:10 for the Fairlane over in the left. David Mullen comes up now from Lamont, Illinois. 37 Chevy. The B-Gas 37 Chevy. Raymond Gatewood from White House, Tennessee. Got it categorized as a D-Gasser. It's a 78 Malibu. Big block Chevy power. Gatewood in the Jegs.com lane. Mullen the Budweiser side. So from our vantage point here in the tower, we see the King's Ransom 56 loaded up on the King's or Bob King's machine go that way, but hopefully they can get it sorted out. Maybe be back, make some elimination passes later on. Dave Mullen, 876 at 157. Raymond Gatewood, 952 at 140. So the Zoomy headers out from under the fender wells for Dan Hobbs, left side of the track from Hawesville, Kentucky. 557 cubic inches of blue oval power, motivating the 56 Thunderbird, left side. He's classified in the B gas category alongside Matt Chitwood, the E-gasser out of Bloomington, Indiana. 66 Chevelle, trying to run a 10 flat over here on the right side. Virtually identical at the starting line, finish line. Dan Hobbs, 894 at 145. Matt Chitwood, 1047 at 119. So they were both late at the start and about a half a second off on the index. But other than that, good run. Sean Grant, Seagas 67 Mustang, left side of the track, the Budweiser lane. He hails from Owensboro, Kentucky. Right side, 56 Chevy. Low slung machine over here on the right. Again, we're still entering tech cards, so we can't tell you everything we'd like to about these cars. We will. And I can tell you they're both making a good looking lap right now. 9 flat with a 7, dead on with a 7 at 148. That was the number that Sean Grant was looking for. Right side 895 at 151. I'm assuming it was Seagas as well, and he was a little bit quicker in the Chevrolet. So the Camaro left side, no info again in the computer, but we can see on the side it's called the Glitter Rat. 1970 Camaro. He'll be charging hard down the left side on the single. Over here having some trouble. Now it looks like maybe he's getting it fired up, not sure. But in the meantime, a 954 at 139 for the Glitter Rat. Here's Bob Eaker. Canby, Indiana. 67 Nova wagon. See this car campaign quite frequently in Super Comp and Super Gas on the NHRA divisional circuit. He pulls up alongside Rex Stamps from Tipton, Indiana. 78 Camaro. So the E-gas category machine, the 78 Camaro. He sees a 10 flat up there on the scoreboard, 850 the number for Eaker. Running the B-gas index. He is a star racer. Settles it down. Points it west, away he goes. Gets there with an 857 at 156. 987 for Stamps at 136. He is under the index by 13. Here's Jack Small, 65 Corvette out of Owensboro, alongside the Alki Pinto. See the big wing on the back, the injector scoop sitting on top. He is muscling that thing down the track. 903 at 149 for the Pinto. Jack Small, 930, speed of 145. Final call for competition eliminator. Final call for competition eliminator. This is Amber Phillips, another racer out of Owensboro, Kentucky. a noble profession. She is a pastor for children. 67 Camaro C. Gasser, alongside Ronnie Egner from Mayfield, Kentucky. 55 Chevy, the shoebox machine right side. So Phillips, 898, just a touch under the 9 flat at 146, just about dialed in. 918 on the 950, way under for Ronnie Egner at 145. Here's Charles Butler. Left side, 69 Camaro, alongside Trevor Messamore, right side, 75 Monza. Messamore from right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. His Monza in the E-Gas category alongside Butler's C-Gas Camaro. Butler from Batavia, Ohio. Pro 3 start, off they go. 906 for Charles Butler, speed of 141. Trevor Messamore, 944 at 137. Another pair of bow tie machines backing up from their burnouts right now. Left side, it's Buddy Ray from Martinsville, Indiana. 67 Nova SS, 565 cubic inches of bow tie rat motor. Alongside Jackson Messamore, Hanson, Kentucky, 19 years old. At the controls of his 1970 Camaro, small block Chevy, E-Gas machine over here in the jegs.com lane. Start for Jackson. Reacts real quick. 10:04 for Jackson Messamore. 10:04 at 135. Buddy Ray, 9:06 on his 9 flat at 147. Attention in the pit area, we need Geezer Gassers to lanes 5 and 6. Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. Geezer Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. We also need the Scott Rods AA Gassers to line up in the staging in the oval. So Scott Rods, you can get ready as well. We need you to stage up right here in the oval. Final call for Competition Eliminator. Final call for Comp Eliminator. Geezer Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. Geezer Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. Scott Rods, AA Gassers to the staging lanes in the oval. So the straight backs on 55 pulling the gears for you. He's headed down the Budweiser side. In the meantime, the Barracuda, he'll shut off the timers first. Jegs.com side, 9:19 at 143 for the Barracuda. The Chevrolet, how about a 10:30, 10:30 at 128. So left side, the Nova off and running. Right side, yanking gears, that is Kurt Neighbor in his 79 Mustang. 9:43 for Kurt Neighbor at 141. Left side, the Nova left before the tree was activated, will get no time on the time ticket. Again, Geezer Gassers 5 and 6. Geezer Gassers 5 and 6. Scott Rod's AA Gassers. You can line up in the staging lanes in the oval. The meat wagon left side. Alongside the 1960 Corvette right side. Sea-gas on the window of the meat wagon. We're still putting those tech cards in, so more information to come later. So the Vega comes down hard, and he knows he's got a problem, and he shuts it off, pulls over to the wall. In the meantime, the Corvette 938 at 143. So the driver of the meat wagon, he is starting to climb out. He'll check things out. Our crew will walk out there to give a little inspection, and we'll get the track cleared as quick as we can and get back to action here in the gas eliminator category. Looks like Comp has made their way to the ready line. We have just a handful of gassers left. Looks like we got 3 over here in the staging lanes and 2 in the water box and 1 sitting idle on the track. Then it'll be time for competition eliminator. Again, Geezer Gassers, we need you to lanes 5 and 6. Geezer Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. And Scott Rod's AA Gassers to the staging lanes in the oval. So attention crews, if you have to go out and retrieve your driver for whatever reason, please respect our racing surface and stay out of the racing groove to try to keep our racing groove as clean and as pristine as possible. We know you're headed out there to help out your driver, but be respectful of the drivers coming after you and stay out of the racing groove as much as you possibly can. Thank you very much. So our top end just about cleared off down there as the meat wagon Vega, the camback wagon. I was reminded that it's not a, it is a camback. That's what they call them. So he is just about cleared up there at the finish line. We'll get him off the first gate there. And as soon as we get the signal at the top end, we'll fire up our next pair out of the water box. Pair of bow tie machines for their first hit here at the famed quarter mile at Beach Bend Raceway Park. And here we go, the little Vega patriotic machine over there on the left side. Still working on getting those tech cards in. Right side, Joe James from DeSoto, Missouri. 69 Nova. Neither one of them too anxious to leave the starting line. 902 for the Nova on a 9 flat index, 147, so he's close to where he wants to be. 10:53 for the Vega at 1:30. Two more coming at you right now. I believe that is either 57 or 58 Corvette Roadster, left side. See nestled down there in that funny car style cage. Right side, another Vega. Wheels up for the Vega. Trying his hardest to get over the center line, but gets it gathered up. Corvette 951 at 141. 990 for the Vega, speed of 136. But he was sure hunting for that center line for the first 300 feet. Here is your final car in gas eliminator. Nick Deshawn from Kokomo, Indiana. The 69 Camaro, indexed as a B gas machine. So 850, the number he's trying to hit. We'll be in competition eliminator with our next pair out. Again, Geezer Gassers, lanes 5 and 6. Geezer Gassers 5 and 6. Scott Rods, AA Gassers. Please line up staging lanes in the open. Deshawn hustling down track, trying to go 850. He goes 853. 853 at 158. And that'll conclude Gas Eliminator for their first session. And we move into Competition Eliminator. Little Bantam altered left side, backing up from the Burnout right now alongside the front motor dragster. No information on file for either of these racers. Little Bantam is out in front by about 4 car lengths at the finish line. 964 left side at 130. Right side 1026. Speed of 130 for the dragster. Another Bantam bodied altered over there in the left lane. Out of the rod shop, it says. So the rod shop machine leaves before the tree was activated. Right side, little street roadster. Getting down there for Representative Pass. He'll pick up a time ticket. He'll have it dialed in for the next time he hits the track. 27T altered, injected. See the injector hat out there in front of the driver. He's sitting up high and handsome there, left side of the track. And the little low slung front motor dragster right side. We are entering these into the computer. And as we get that information, we'll let you know. In the meantime, we'll tell you what the numbers are. Dragster out in front. He'll get to the finish line first. 767. 767 at 187. 855 for the altered left side at 152. Another dragster altered matchup. This time the dragster over on the left side, the Budweiser lane. And the little altered, another 27T fiberglass bodied machine. Over here on the right. Down track for the altered. Going to get there first, 872 at 150. The little dragster shut off and is coasting. Hopefully can get there under his own power. But we may have to send out a little assistance to get him gathered up and get him to the safe area. He crosses the stripe at 30 miles an hour. He may have enough momentum to get around to the first turnoff. So how about the fuel coupe style dragster over here? Injected small block, left side, right side, little Fiat Topolino. No telling what you might see in this comp Eliminator class, but a bunch of gorgeous hot rods. Again, Geezer gassers 5 and 6, Geezer gassers 5 and 6, Scott rods. You can head to the staging lanes in the oval. Pair of short and stout burnouts out of the water box right now. Little fuel coupe over there left side, the Topolino right side. And I believe he is going to try it again. Do another quick little burnout here. Something a little better to his liking. And he hustles right up there to the pre-stage beam. His crewman's telling him to back up a little bit. Crewman needs to get out of the beams to help him out. Two, 842 at 144, 1126 for the coupe at 87. Two more. Shuts off the timers first, 821 at 161. Right side. The injected dragster. Budweiser lane. Crewman takes the parachute pin app with confidence. Little 52 at 155. The dragster was quicker at the finish, slower at the start, 851, 153. Roadster hustling back. Go get it. Move to the left. Just overpowered the starting line of it was to click it off, which he did. In the meantime, retrieve the dragster. We have one comp eliminator car in the water box. So as our final comp eliminator car waits in the water box right now, Hot Rod Bob Beck getting ready to take over again as soon as the Geezer Gassers comes up. I'd probably just turn it over to you now. I think you can handle one last car. But, man, there's a lot going on out here.
I'll tell you what, the track is full. We just got word over 100 new entries compared to last year. So you're going to see more racing action this year at Beach Bend than ever before at the Hot Rod Reunion. We're glad you could be here for this history-making event. So it's a little bit humid out there, judging by the color of some of the shirts I see. They've gotten dark in a few spots. We're up here in the air-conditioned tower. We're not going to tell you how cool and comfortable and nice it is. But anyway, we are glad you could be here. You're sitting in the shade all day if you're watching from the grandstands, and we're glad you could be here to join us for the 16th Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. I was talking to my wife. She said, you know, we're not from the area. We've come from the left coast, and she says, it is so hot that the T-shirts on the people are sweating. People aren't, the shirts are. But it's a beautiful day. There's lots to see. There's the swap meet area. If you need that seasoned parts for your car, you can probably find it in the swap meet area. The manufacturer's midway area is going on. You can see some great stuff there, including Scott's Gassers. There's a whole group of them there. Check out the Holley booth. I'm going to go talk to them a little bit later about their new 2-barrel bolt-on fuel injection system. And I want that for my street rod. The other thing out there, now, the people that made the history, a number of them are going to be recognized tomorrow night at the Corvette Museum, and it's free. That's right. You can go over there for the award or the honoree celebration. We've got some great people going to be there. Bob Fry's come in. He's wandering around getting the inside story from people such as Don Garlitz, who's here. Bob Barabbas, a.k.a. Floyd Lippincott, the freight train driver, is here. Guys that made the history are here, and that's why the Hot Rod Reunion was started. Unfortunately, we lost one of the big guys from the day. Tom the Mongoose McEwen passed away just a couple of days ago. They've got a booth here, and you can get Mongoose items. So if you want to remember Tom, he was a mainstay at the reunion in California. He was always there. He and Perdome sitting, talking about the good old days of racing and what they were going to do next to Tommy Ivo. So, it was some great stuff. All right, we've got the alternate coming up. Little Fiat Topolino. Topolino, designed by Fiat back in 1930s to compete against the new car from Germany, the Volkswagen. It was a 4-cylinder, but it was only a 2-seater. I had one. I was building it as a street rod, and I got it, you know, kind of cool. It was ready to go, and the wife says, that's kind of nice, but where do we put the kid? Well, that car got sold real quick. And I moved on to bigger and better, and still have that hot rod I built after I sold my Fiat. So 35 years later, I'm still driving the same hot rod. All right, Fiat digging in, getting ready to go. Engine time, 1.2, 60-foot mark. Halfway point, 5.4 seconds. And at the stripe, 864, 151 miles an hour. You know, anyone can restore a classic, but it takes a true hot rodder to cut one up and make it cool. And look at this Corvette. Plastic fantastic here in the right lane. The National Corvette Restorer Society would probably go crazy looking at this car. We've got Dustin Korn out of Farmland, Indiana. 57 Corvette with a 427 sitting high in the sky with a straight front axle. Don Moyer out of Mentor, Ohio, 1940 Willys. It's got an AMC 401 cubic inch motor. These guys are going to be running the quarter mile hard as they head down track. E-Gas in the right lane and left lane. They've got an 11 flat index they're trying to qualify on. Let's see how well they do. All right, fully staged. Geezer Gassers on the road. Wheels go up in the air. Boy, that Corvette goes for sky. I think if we talk, we've had some wild wheelies, but that looks like the biggest one so far. 1138 on an 11 index. We're not expecting the Corvette to get close, and he does it. 1453. Chevy Coupe over in the left lane. That is a 1938 Chevy Greg Berg. It's a D-Gas 1050 index. Johnny Johnson out of Carlton, Georgia, a 41 Willys, also a D-Gas 1050. The magic number they're looking for. This is their qualifying zone. A little bit of wheelie over in the left lane. 1.460 foot to a 1.5, and the Chevy powers away. Goes to the finish line, lights first, 1072 to a 12.19. 750 Eliminator. 750 Eliminator. We need you to the lanes. 750 Eliminator to the lanes. All right, Wild Willys. Bill Swarm out of Rockford, Illinois. 41 Willys, 468 Chevy. Dan Tackett out of Gulfport, Mississippi. 36 Chevrolet, 522 cubic inches. All right, left lane stage, right lane can't stage. So Bill Swarm takes off in the Rockford, Illinois-based Willys. Goes through the lights, looking for an 11 flat, goes 1094. And here's another old car with that heated option. Window posts on this car heated. And a little bit of stuff to mop up there on the starting line. Lanes 3 and 4 for 750. Lanes 3 and 4, 750 Eliminator. Lanes 3 and 4, 750 Eliminator, please. Little Austin over in the left lane. Robert Walker out of Chattanooga, Tennessee with the 57 Chevy. 406 cubic inches with a small block. Looking for an elusive 11 flat run. Look at that Austin move. He's down the center of the track looking for that run. He gets 940. Robert looking for an 11, goes 1158, a little off the mark. 44 over in the burger or the left lane. I keep thinking about my home track, which is Irwindale, and we're sponsored, our left lane sponsored by In-N-Out Burger, so that's always the burger lane. Gary Reiber out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida. 44 Coupe takes on Chad Willits, Henderson, Kentucky. 40 Willys. Beautiful orange Willys. That paint job on that thing is, and both these cars really shining bright. As a matter of fact, from my vantage point, the sun's right in my eyes off the trunk lid. They hit the loud pedal and off they go. 148 to a 110 reaction. Again, this is qualifying. They're not too worried about the reaction times, but they're looking for the elusive 1050 in the right lane, 11 in the left lane, 1078 to an 1135. Both off the mark just a little bit. But they'll get it dialed in for their Eliminator rounds tomorrow. 55 Chevy taking on the high riding 37. It's Steve Klimkowski and John Schwick. Schwick out of Dayton, Indiana, 55 Chevy with the 400. Bob Vandergrift, his sponsor. He's going to take on Steve Kleminski. Kleminski looking for a 10 flat, as is John Schwick. They're checking something out at the top end right now. And once we get an all clear, we'll send these guys down. Thanks for coming out to the 16th Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we're going to be going to the Corvette Museum. And one of the people we're going to be talking about is in the tower with us right now, Larry Lombardo. I'm going to put him on the spot. How was the trip?
Well, the trip was pretty good. Getting my luggage was a little challenging, but we worked it out when we got here.
Good. Now, I'm reading about you and what you're doing now, and you're still involved pretty heavily.
Yeah, I have an engine building business for 39 years, and I get 120 customers. And this is a lot of fun, but I still have to work for a living, you know.
750 to lane 3 and 4. 750 index cars, lanes 3 and 4. All right, long burnout. The coupe goes pretty far down, and you're going to be coming in. We're going to see you tomorrow night. Everyone's going to get to meet and greet with you at the Corvette Museum tomorrow.
Yes, we'll be there. My old Corvette, 50 years ago, I wanted Indy. We'll be there, buckshot. So that makes you old.
Yeah, but you're here. That's the thing. We're glad you could be here. All right, a little bit more geezer gasser action, and Bob Fry is going to be talking all about Larry tomorrow night at the Corvette Museum. It is free to get in, so join us there at the Corvette Museum tomorrow night. Get there early. They're going to stay open a little bit later till 7 o'clock, and you're going to have something to eat in the Corvette cafeteria as well. All right, red light, big time. He left before the tree to get activated. Now, he's still going to get a time, but how accurate it's going to be, I'm not quite sure. As he heads down track, the 55s through the lights, 10:55 on a 10 flat. And Steve in the 37 goes 10:47. So they're running a little off the pace as far as their indexes go. Another 55 and a pair of 55s. Larry Bagwell and a Hansville. Alabama. 427 in his 55. Ed Welch out of Selma, Indiana, 406. So a small block against the big block. They're looking for indexes of 11 flat for Larry Bagwell's big block car and 1150 for Ed Welch's small block. All right, full stage over in the left lane, full stage right lane. Lights begin to drop. Double reds. They both leave early. That's anticipation for you. Right lane out in front. Better 60 foot by a tenth of a second. And he expands that at the stripe. Looking for 11 flat, goes 1177. Looking for a 1150, goes 13.0. So no one really running the numbers today. You know, a lot of times we see cars come out here in suede or primer in some cases. The Austin in the right lane has absolutely no paint on it. John Verdi out of Columbus, Ohio, 48 Austin with a 468 big block. He's looking for a 9-second ET. Bill Zale out of Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, 427 Ford-powered Willys. Also, he's looking for 10 flat. Austin through the lights looking for a 9 flat, goes 942. Zeal in the Willies looking for an 11 or 10, goes 1148. They are 2 rounds. The Willies They're a power by 40. American hot rod ingenuity after the war saw these as potential race cars. They were light in weight and you could fit the V8. And they did. Lightweight cars such as the Stonewood Push Machine made history back in the day. Here's a couple cool. The blue reminds me of the old Stonewood Push car. Let's go. Out of Topeka, Missouri. Test, test, test. All right, we are just about ready to go back. We're going to be doing some track prep here. We'll be ready to go racing in just a few moments. 7-0 Pro, 7-0 to the lanes, please. 7-0 class to the lanes, please. 750 is suited up. 7-0, we need you to the lanes as well. All right, we got 750 cars getting ready to go. Drivers are suited up. We're just about ready to go back to racing, making sure the track is good and sticky for them today. Glad you could be here for the 16th annual Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. .750 or 7-0, we need you to the lanes. 7-0 to the lanes, please. 7-0 to the lanes. All right, we're just about ready. The 750 cars are suited up, ready to go. The drivers are ready. They're saying, come on, I don't have air conditioning in my car. So they're going to be pulling up here now. Don't forget, later on this evening, Show and Shine Hot Rod Street Legal Run start about 6 p.m. once the regular drag racing is done. You can run your hot rod down Beach Bend quarter mile, just $10. You must have a Show and Shine entry, though. You must be entered in the Show and Shine area. Now run from 6 to 8, make as many runs as you want. Buy your ticket for $10 in the staging lanes. At the back of the lanes at about 6 p.m. And we'll call you up there when that's ready to go. And remember, you must have the proper safety equipment for the speed your car is able to attain. All right, 750 class coming up now. Fiat Topolino, Rick Sipa coming up here in the right lane. He's going to take on the big block Chevy-powered dragster over in the left lane. The index, 750. It's a heads-up index. Can't break out. You got to get there first, but don't go quicker than 750. Sideways coming out of the water box. Get the tires warmed up. That's some good stuff down. All right, more racing action going to be going on throughout the day. .750 is the elusive number they're trying to hit. Fiat Topolino taking on the dragster, the altered, taking on the rail. Front motored cars, the mainstay of what drag racing was until the days of Don Garlett's Fiat going all the way over to the wall. He backs out of it, brings it back, says, I'm going to save it for another day. 770 over in the left lane on a 750 index. Fiat Topolino on a dragster chassis reminiscent of the old Pete Millard chicken coop. Camaro here in the right lane. 750, the elusive number they're going to try and hit. Doesn't matter what the body is. The goal is 750. Run what you brung. It can have doors. It can be a flopper body. 750 is the number. Beautiful Fiat Topolino. Back in the early days, they called these fuel coupes. One of the most famous, the Pete Millar chicken coupe. Pete Millar, the famous cartoonist. Drag cartoons and a host of other things. First generation Camaro. The blower hat sits so high, it's above the roof from my vantage point. Only blocks your vision a little bit. Full stage for the Camaro, full stage for the Topo. Camaro takes some bins and tires. Fiat using up some real estate, loses some parts on the way down track. So we've got some parts and pieces on the track. One thing we know about drag racers, they are quite capable of disassembling the vehicles while in motion. And that's what happened with the Camaro. I don't know if those are what's left of his blower belts, but there's something on the track, and we're going to get those things cleaned off before we send any more cars down. Now, I want you to notice the starter. He's got that mop in his hand. He is a professional. Do not try this at home, guys. If you do this at home, your significant other is going to know you know which end of the mop to hold, and guess what's going to happen? So think about that for a bit. Parts are back. What's left of his blower belt, it appears. So the track is cleared off. We are ready to go. Squirt a little go juice through the hat of the blower. Left lane's fired up. Right lane having trouble firing. There he goes. Now we got the real high horsepower cars starting to come up here. And are they going to be able to hold power to the track? Beautiful day here at Beach Bend. We're glad you could be here. I'm Hot Rod Bob along with Warren. We'll keep you informed about what's going on throughout the weekend here at the Hot Rod Reunion. All right, 750, the elusive number these guys are trying to hit. We do not have tech information on these guys yet. It's a run with your brung. Don't go quicker than 750. You can have a big block. You can have a small block. You can do it with a 4-cylinder if you want. You got to run 750. 135 reaction to a 151. Looking for the 750. 745 too quick. 754. Good one here in the right lane. Left lane pops to shoot. Right lane does not get the laundry out. And he makes the turn. He must be a road racer on the weekends. Beautiful dragster here in the right lane. All right, we're going to be checking the track, and we'll be back to racing action in just a moment. Coming up next, you got a one hot-looking Willie. He's getting ready to go. Oh, and he's got suicide doors on it, too. We're glad you could be here. Again, don't forget Show and Shine, guys. After the racing is done today, we got Show and Shine Hot Rods can make street legal runs here at Beach Bend. You're going to start about 6 p.m. when racing is done. You can run your hot rod down the Beach Bend quarter mile. It's got to be a car entered in the show and shine, though. So just $10. You must have a show and shine entry. Run from 6 to 8 p.m. You can make as many runs as time permits. Buy your tech cards at the back of tech lanes when we call you at about 6 p.m. "7-0, 7-0, you should be in the staging lanes. 7-0, you should be in the staging lanes." All right, once we get the all clear from the track high end, we'll get things going again. A little bit of stuff to mop up here on the starting line. Oh, by the way, they do not do windows very well. All right, they're firing the cars back up. We've got the all clear from the high end. We're ready to go. Thanks for coming out to Beach Bend and the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion. Glad you could be here. I'm Hot Rod Bob along with Warren. We'll keep you informed about what's going on. Bob Fry just came into town. Now we're getting some burnouts. These are the fun part. Getting ready, 750, the elusive number they're going to try and hit. Dragster against Willys. Gasser-style Willys with the big wing thing in the back. Now, one of the good things about the wing is it serves double duty. Not only does it keep the car stable at speed, but when you get back to the pits, it's a great cup holder. All right, Willys moving up to the line over in the left lane, getting ready to go against the Dragster. It doesn't matter what you run. So early, he will not get a time. He left before the tree could get activated. 7:36 for the Dragster, too quick. No time on the Willys, left before the tree was activated. All right, now Corvette coming up against the Dragster. Goes all the way to half track before he's able to stop it after his burnout. But look at how quick he comes back, and he comes back really straight. He could be a parking lot attendant in Vegas. 63 Stingray style body with the split rear window. Iconic. 1963 is probably the most popular or most in demand of the early second-gen Corvettes. But it was hated when it came out in 1963. The drivers all complained they couldn't see the car they were passing. Three-stage lights lit. They've got a full stage. Corvette's first one in. Dragster just barely bumped in. For the Corvette. The Dragster's right there looking for 750. 757 and a 752. Two good runs. No shoot for the Dragster, but the Corvette sure pops it as they come up on the turnout. Are they going to make it? We're watching. Corvette goes around him. Dragster follows. 1932 Austin. 6-0 to the lanes 3 and 4. 6-0 category to lanes 3 and 4. category, 3 and 4. 1932 Austin Bantam Roadster. Now, that was a U.S.-built car back in 1932. American Austin built that car. It was called the Bantam Roadster. Now, they weren't real popular back then because people just didn't think of sports cars for the U.S. market or two-seater convertibles. American Austin went out of business shortly thereafter. But American Hot Rodders found the body and found, this is good. It works great on a race car. It doesn't weigh much. Fiberglass reproductions keep the Bantam alive. Willys here in the right lane, 1933 model. The Willys Americar, an economy coupe. They made coupes, they made four doors, they made panel trucks or sedan deliveries. Very popular utility vehicle. The engine that powered the Willys when they first came out was the same one that powered the Jeep. The Willys loadsome. 134 reaction time, 1060 foot mark, goes 741 under the number. The Willys, well, he's just going to motor on down track. The Bantam too quick by 9. Looking for a 750, goes 9. Again, we need 6-0 to the lanes, please. 6-0 to the lanes, please. 7-0, you should be ready to go. 7-0, you will follow 750s. 6-0s to the lanes, please. 6-0, you will follow the 7-0 cars. Lots more to happen for you today. Got some great cars still in staging coming up here. Glad you can make it. I'm Hot Rod Bob along with Warren telling you what's hot, what's not, and what's going on throughout the day. Fiat Topolino coming up here in the right lane. Another Bantam Roadster. It can be Ford power, it can be Chevy power, it can be Chrysler power. Just got to go 750. $750, the elusive number to hit. Reaction puts him way out in front. And the number 766 to an off pace 823. T Roadster. Chevy powered. You know, a lot of people complain about Chevy powered Fords. You got to have a Ford and a Ford. Well, you know what? Go back to the 1920s and you'll find that Chevrolet has always been Ford's best. Yeah, look at it. Look for a Frontenac or a Fronty Ford. Lewis Chevrolet and his brother were making race engines at the time, and the engine of choice was the Model T and the Model A Ford 4-cylinders. And Lewis Chevrolet and his brother made high-performance racing cylinder heads and engines back in the day. Look it up, Fronty, F-R-O-N-T-Y, Ford. Fronty Ford. Frontenac was the name of the company that Lewis and Gaston Chevrolet formed. It was an engineering company. They built racing engines. So Chevrolet has always been making Fords fast. All right, dragsters pull it up. Ooh, some wild cars coming up next. Red light. This is a perfect light by 1/1000th of a second and then shuts it off. Right lane goes 752 on a 50 index. Good run. Left lane's come to a stop on track. We'll have to get him clear. So we're going to shut the cars down in the water box. It's going to be a while before we get him cleared. but the T shut off. He had a near perfect reaction time of 001, but it was red. And we'll get him clear of track. We'll get back to more action in the 750 index. 7-0s, you should be in the lanes. 6-0s, you should be there too. You'll be following the 7-0s. I'm Hot Rod Bob along with Warren, giving you the information about what's going on throughout the weekend over the PA system. If you're having trouble hearing PA announcements, tune your FM radio to 87.9. On 87.9, you can hear us in stereo. The NHRA Motorsports Museum would like to thank the City of Bowling Green and Warren County for their hospitality. We appreciate the help of the many good folks at the city, the Warren County Sheriff's Office, the Bowling Green Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, and many others that helped make the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion successful. Thank you very, very much. You know, Dynamat's Legends autograph session will be Friday at before 2 p.m. They'd like to thank our friends at Dynamat for their support of the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion and the Dynamat Legends autograph sessions at 2 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Next to the reunion tent inside the oval track, meet and greet the 2018 reunion honorees: Jay Howe, Bo Laws, Ed Miller, Joe Williamson, Greg, and the Grand Marshal, Larry Lombardo. And Larry was in the tower with us a little while ago, and we were kind of joking. He traveled all the way here by plane. So did his luggage. Part of the way. But he found it. He got his luggage back, and he was going, gosh, I just had all these shirts monogrammed and, embroidered, and they're gone. Well, they found his luggage. Apparently his suitcase looks just like somebody else's, and they picked it up. They brought it back. He's got it now. So we're going to have to get something that we can put on Joe's suitcase to make it look different. Maybe a competition stripe or something. Get a guy that'll airbrush his logo on there or something. We'll do something like that. So lots going on. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we're going to have the autograph session tomorrow afternoon right here at the Reunion Tent. But tomorrow night at the Corvette Museum, head on over. The Corvette Cafe is going to stay open an extra hour. If you get there early, they'll give you a discount to go in through the museum, or you can get there at time for the honoree presentations and you get in free. It's up to you. I went through the museum yesterday, and I do that every year we come back here. It's always something different and interesting to see there, and read about the history of the Corvette, the many, many drivers, the people responsible for keeping the Corvette alive. Now, many people think that the Corvette has always been popular. Not so. When it was first introduced in 1953, it was almost canceled because they only sold 300 cars. 300 Corvette. They were all hand-built. They even hand-made the bodies. There was no big production facility. They had one mold, and a bunch of guys would take the fiberglass matting, put it in the mold, and hand squeegee and roll in the resin to make the bodies. So that the history of the Corvette is quite interesting. Even in 1955, when they first came out with the first V8 Corvette, because Thunderbird just set them on their ear. Thunderbird was outselling Corvette 8-1 back in 1955. Corvettes, they almost got canceled by Chevrolet, but something kept them going. They were able to save them, and it's become the iconic American sports car. Built right here in Bowling Green. All right, the Willie's coming out. Both the left lane, dragster here in the right lane. 750, the heads-up index we'll try and hit. Chop top Willys with the big, now that's got a whole picnic table, not just a wing on the back. You could see a family of 5 for dinner on the back of that Willys. Boy. But they went to those wings because these cars got extremely unstable at the speeds they're now hitting. The shape of the back end of the Willys would start to make the car lean. The action, the wheelies with the whole shot. They're looking for 750s. Dragster goes 718 under the number, right on the number. 750 for the Willys driver, right where he wanted to be. Bantam Roadster over to the left lane, taking on what looks like a Mercury Comet. Comet and the Maverick. Replace the Falcon and the small Comets. They used the Maverick chassis, which basically was just a modified early version of the Mustang chassis. Overlooked by hot rodders for a number of years, they're finally getting some recognition, but their prices are going skyrocketing now that even the hot rodders and the racers are noticing what they are. Easily take a small block Ford motor, just bolted right in. Granada front spindles, then you've got disc brakes. The Bantam closing in, looking for 750, 792, and an 801, both off the number. Another Roadster, this one a Model T Ford here on the right lane, takes on the Dragster. Now, Ford introduced the Model T so that everyone could own one, and they were the first mass-produced car back in the day. It started the assembly line procedure, and Ford brought the price of a car down to the amount that the average family could afford back in the day. For under $400, you could buy yourself a brand new Model T. Now, the Model T is also credited with coming up or causing the name pickup truck. Now, you think about that for a second. Pickup truck. What does pickup truck mean? Well, basically what it was, when you ordered a Ford and you got the truck option, you had to go back to the dealership to pick up the bed. So it became the pickup truck. Identical as they head down track. Are they going to wheel race to get the 750? 755 and a 758. Good run. Bantam Roadster here in the right lane. And again, we need 7.0s and 6.0 cars to the lanes. 7.0 and 6.0 to the lanes. Dragster and the Bantam all 750, the elusive number. You know, I've only sat in the stands once watching the races, and it's a great shot. From my vantage point, all I see is the back of the car going down track. So we can tell whether the car is wiggling or not. You can see the wheelies a lot better than we can. However, when I can read the numbers off the top of the engine, then I know they've really come up high. Dragster lined up. There we go. Comes back. If you've never driven a dragster, it is an experience. I went to the Frank Holley School, drive super comps, and Jack Beckman was the lead instructor at the time. And I'll tell you what, that was an experience I will never forget. Something you had to do. It was on my bucket list. I did it. Then I went back to my door. Left, hard right, straightens out. Goes 760 to 761. Yeah, I think they're wheel racing going down track there. 760 to 761 on a 750 index. More to run. Dragster and another Bantam. Hot rod ingenuity, and no two cars look alike. The car in the right lane looking like it just came off the pages of an old Carcraft magazine. Other than the wheelie bars, it looks just like a dragster from the 60s. It's really narrow inside. Look at how narrow it is. You know, from our vantage point in the tower, I'd have to be 30 pounds lighter. And I've tried a couple of times. I've cackled a couple of the top fuel cars. And, man, I cannot get in them. The last one I tried to get in was the Addict, the top fuel car, the Addict. And I couldn't even get the fire suit on me. The driver that fit in that car was so thin. He's also about a foot taller than me. Weighs the same, too. That's the scary part. But yeah, those things are really narrow. Now, the car that I had the easiest time getting in, actually, was Tommy Ivo's car. And that car was wide enough I got in no problem. Of course, the sleeves were a little short on the fire suit. Yeah, a little short. Tommy's still going strong. Saw him just the other day, just Sunday. We saw Tommy Ivo at a car show. He was there. 149 reaction time. Good straight run. Right lane takes a little bit of a right turn. Goes 760, 753 in the left lane. Right where they want to be. 753, 176 miles an hour to 760 at 179. All right, 7.0 cars coming out. Look at the Crower car. A roadster with a canopy. Robbie Friels, the Rocket Man. Now, you see a lot of dragsters, new dragsters with canopies. The old glass slipper had a canopy. Here's a altered, I guess you could say, with a full canopy. I wonder if he's got air conditioning, too. And then Phil Martino Racing coming up with their T. Really aerodynamic T for what it is. Phil Martino out of Murraysville, Pennsylvania. Robbie Friels out of Island, Kentucky. 1994 Canode chassis car with a 496 cubic inch engine. 23T over in the left lane. Gets a little crossed up. Robbie was the winner of this race last year, and he goes almost a half track before he's able to slow his car down. He picks up the pace backing it up, but still not backing it up really quick. Thank you for coming out to the Holley National Hot Rod Reunion, our 16th annual event, and you are a big part of it. Without you, the show does not go on. Glad you could be here. Don't forget, stop by the official 2018 Holley National Hot Rod Reunion merchandise booth. Get your reunion shirts, hats, more. Big reunion central tent inside the oval track. It's your only chance to get this year's reunion shirt. Official Cackle Fest tees, event programs, reunion posters, and much more. Remember, your purchase helps preserve American hot rod history by supporting the NHRA Motorsports Museum. He will not get a time. He left so early. 7:06 for Robbie Friels. Phil Martino will not get a time. He did not take the tree. He left before the tree could get activated. Another Austin Roadster here in the right lane. Big block Chevy powered. And the dragster with a Hemi. Southern Pride. Preston Davis out of Bartlett, Tennessee. Got a 417 cubic inch Hemi. Corey Millett out of Piquet, Ohio. 540 cubic inches worth of Chevrolet. 417 cubic inch Chrysler motor. 6-0 cars, 6-0 cars. We need you to the lanes. 6-0 to the lanes. You will follow 7-0, and they're on track now. Thanks for coming out to the 16th annual Holley National Reunion. And don't forget to pick up your official Hot Rod Reunion event program while they're here. 50 full pages, stories about our reunion honorees, Exalt the show and shine and much more. Stop by the Daniel. Well, the Bandit pulls away with a better reaction time. Is out in front. Goes 698 to a 705. So Davis a better run with a 705. Millet under the number by less than 0.02 of a second.